Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the most magical podcast in the Midwest, the Magic in the Midwest podcast, starring USA Today best-selling author J.B. Michaels and his more successful wife, Ashley Michaels. And now, your hosts. Wow, thanks, announcer. Thanks very much. Yes, this is Magic in the Midwest podcast, you guys, number 58. So how's it going? How's everybody doing? What's happening, Ash?
Well, firstly, I mean, we were not here last week because we were both down with the second round of the vaccine.
Right.
I
mean, this is pretty well common knowledge, and I think people should just know. We got the Moderna shot, and we were pretty...
Yeah.
The second shot messed us up.
Yeah.
You know, we don't really talk about this kind of stuff on the
that's
podcast.
why we didn't record.
But we did post 2 Bandcamp exclusives though last week. So you still got content last week, even though we were not doing the mainline podcast.
Right.
But yes, you're right though.
I didn't want people to think that we just weren't doing it.
No. But we did we were a little down with some definite symptoms from the second shot last Sunday, and it just totally wiped out our day.
And week kind of wiped.
And it wiped
part of
us.
the week. Yeah.
Well, it was a weird week.
But we're back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a weird week. It was, the more intense symptoms, side effects, whatever, happened right away.
Initially.
But then things kind of lingered for a while.
Yeah. I still have some strange, weird things, but
well,
but
is
other
that
than that,
from the vaccine or just yourself?
I think the vaccine, but I mean, I guess I could be just weird in general. All right, so. Yes, so this is the Magic in the Midwest podcast. This is podcast number 58. 58.
Wow.
Yes. And I, for one, am just excited about the future. Things are starting to look up in the world of theme parks.
Yep.
Normalcy is on the horizon. So
can I just do a little side note on that real quick?
Sure.
I'm in a few Facebook groups for Disney and DVC members and stuff, and a lot of people that are there right now are saying that it's really, really awesome to be able to walk around and see people smiling.
Right.
Just smiling.
Yes.
And reacting to things, and that part does feel really good. So
yes, because it is a different ball game. It's a different ball game when when things kind of feel more normal, and it's been one heck of a year and a half for everybody. Well, a year and a year and a half. That's really when we started hearing about all of it.
Yeah.
The lockdown didn't happen until later, but yeah, I mean it has been crazy, ladies and gentlemen. It's been crazy, but. Things are
looking good.
Yeah. Hopefully, staying vigilant and people still, doing normal things like, washing your hands and being vigilant and will still happen. Maybe people will be better about it moving forward.
Please still wash your hands.
Yeah, please wash your hands. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a big deal. Some people just, don't do that. For whatever reason. All right, so this is, remember, ladies and gentlemen, my books are my books help support the podcast as well. There's many of them. There's 14 books to be exact, cozy mystery books, fun action adventure thrillers, Pixar-like, children's stories. Well, not really children's stories. They're for everybody. But, check out the works of J.B. Michaels. Also, we have exclusive content, you guys. If you go to magicinthemidwestpodcast.bandcamp.com, you can find a whole slew of extra content behind a very, very small paywall, $3 a month.
Whoa, what a deal.
$3 a month for all that extra stuff.
JB and Ash are worth so much more.
We are. We should really aim ourselves higher. We really should. Yes. And also, if you guys need anything insurance-wise, specifically like life insurance, That's been a really kind of a big selling thing over the last year and a half or so. So if you want to know more info about that, just let me know.
And then if you're looking to book a trip,
yes,
to Disney or Universal, really anywhere, you should hit up Emily. She is a vacation planner that we're friends with her, right?
Yeah.
I think we're friends with her.
Yes.
I'm going to say it. Okay.
What? We're weird, distant acquaintances of her, I guess.
No, that sounds terrible.
Well, I'm sorry. That's why I'm saying it's good to say friends.
And she's a vacation planner, obviously, and she specializes though in Disney and Universal, and she can take care of all of the things for you: fast passes, dining, airport transfers, all of it. So
right.
You can contact her via email at emily@magicalmousetravel.com, and of course it is at no cost to you. She'll give you a free quote, and it doesn't cost you any more to work with her. So definitely check her out and let her know that we sent you over. You can also find the link to her information in our link tree via Instagram. So
yes,
either way.
Yes, Emily at Magical Mouse Travel.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, lots of big news happening. We're not going to go too in-depth in that because we're not a news podcast. We will probably do that more often, in the future maybe. But
we have a lot of plans.
Yes. Yeah, we do.
But we don't.
And you're not doing a darn thing. It's your podcast.
I've been working
You always yell at me about it's just my podcast. Well, geez.
Well, maybe I should delegate that job to you.
Nope. Sorry. So anyway, lots of big news. The biggest one is all the hype and the excitement over the Velocicoaster over at Islands of Adventure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
People
Lots of good reviews.
Yeah, people are saying it's that it's just a really great, but very intense coaster. But every review and preview and impressions video I've found is that it's super duper smooth. That your head does not get whacked around and all that stuff, which I think is good. Because a lot of roller coasters rattle your head. You know
think
what I
it's
mean?
good that your head's not being whacked
Yes.
around? Oh,
yes.
yeah, I agree.
Anything, yes, not being whacked off is a good thing. But anyway, so it's also just a very, I guess it's super intense, fast, but that it really does, they really thought about how it'd impact your body. And there's some really thrilling parts, I guess, that are over water and stuff like that people just really, I don't know. It's supposed to be a really fantastic experience. I'm excited to revisit that experience when we head down for Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah, very excited.
Yes, we are going to go to Halloween Horror Nights, and I'm pretty sure that now things are loosening. I'm quite sure we're going to get some HHN news this week.
You think so?
I think so.
Okay.
I think we're going to drop another house. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So that's gonna be happening, is my guess. So lots of exciting things on the horizon. So for us, this is back to our DVC Experiences episodes. Last time we talked about really just two of them. We talked about Saratoga Springs and Bay Lake Tower, both of which I think out of all of them, if you look all of it, those are the places we've stayed the most. Which is why it probably took a little bit longer to do everything, so to talk about things. But today, we're going to talk about our next trip that we took that was in a different resort, other than Bay Lake, was Disney's Polynesian.
Oh my gosh.
Villas and bungalows. That's what they call
Polynesian.
Yeah.
The two we're going to talk about today, it's hard for me to decide.
Yeah.
They're both amazing. But the Poly is just...
Yeah.
Chill, cool vibes.
It
exactly
is.
like me.
If only that were true. That is something she wishes.
It's the me that I want to be.
It's the me that she wants to be.
It's the me that I can be if everything else falls into place.
Right. If she projects that like behavior in a way that she wants it to be her reality. But yeah,
Right when we first started dating, you talked about how
man,
chill I was.
Boy, I was wrong. I was wrong.
Maybe it was that way until we got together and you brought out the crazy.
No.
Spazzy,
It was
because you're
all,
just very difficult.
It was all.
You give off vibes too
there.
that are inaccurate.
No, I'm
Very
definitely
chill
I am
laid
chill.
back. I'm super patient about everything. False.
That is
Black Bear.
No.
You are wrong.
what? She's full of it, you guys.
That's from The Office. I'm upset that you don't know that
I don't
reference.
care about that.
Which
stupid
bear
show.
is best?
All right. So anyway, no, I like The Office, obviously. So we, the Polynesian, you guys, is like we've talked about in the past. It's our favorite, well, my favorite resort. But we are also going to talk about today the DVC element of it, because you could stay. Now, the regular resort rooms are very large in and of themselves. Like, it's a very big space that Disney does. The longhouses are designed, to be spacious. I mean, and it was, one of the original resorts, the original resort. And it also was, a deluxe resort and, a very, very, now it's obviously really on the high end. It's expensive to stay.
Yeah.
At the Polynesian. But you are getting monorail access. You are getting a very big room. And you get views of the castle.
Yep.
You have access to Ohana and Kona Cafe. And, I mean,
You can legit sit at the pool,
the marina.
have all the poly things around you, and see the castle from
Yes.
your chair.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah, it doesn't get much better.
it doesn't.
It doesn't get. I love it. I just
And you have
absolutely
Captain
adore
Cook's right there, too.
it. And Captain Cook's, which many say is probably the best
Trader
quick
Sam's,
service.
Dole Whip.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
Trifecta.
It is a heavy hitter. And the smell of the longhouse, the Great Ceremonial Longhouse.
smells really good.
My gosh, it just smells
It's like coconut
paradise.
and some,
It just, whatever they
Yeah, I don't
pump
know.
into that air
I want it pumped into our house.
is just amazing. I want it pumped everywhere. Pump it. Anyway.
New hashtag.
Yeah, new hashtag.
That could be
Pump
weird.
it.
Ew!
Okay. So,
I don't think anybody wants to hear it.
anyway. So the Polynesian pump. Polynesian pump it. So we
New
just
shirt
adore.
ideas. Sorry.
We adore the Polynesian Resort. And, not too long ago, I was talking to a DVC, sales rep. And,
You should be a DVC sales.
I really should. How do I do that? I'm doing it.
Do you have to, can you...
Can I just do it on the side? You know what I mean? Like,
Does it have to be legit through Disney? Can we somehow just
can I
do
just
it?
be a DVC sales rep?
Just make yourself one?
I should. Hi, I'm Jim, DVC Sales. Jim, DVC Jim. That's a good idea.
DVC Jim?
Jimbo Jimmy.
Maybe we should make an Instagram account, DVC Jim. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Talk to me about
Another
DVC.
idea that we won't do anything about.
See, talk to me about DVC. It rhymes and everything. Anyway. So, now, the Polynesian was not, obviously, considering it was built and opened in 1971, it was not a Disney Vacation Club resort. Disney Vacation Club wasn't even a thing until the late 80s, and then it really started in the early 90s in 1991, which this is the year they're celebrating their 30th anniversary. So like the Grand Floridian, actually Floridian was after the Polynesian, but like the Contemporary, the Polynesian was not it was not intentionally built for Disney Vacation Club. So what Disney did is they built 2 more longhouses, and they also built bungalows, which are called the Bora Bora bungalows, which are out on the water of the Seven Seas Lagoon, and they're incredible. But we're going to talk about some of the weirdness that comes with those Bora Bora bungalows and the kind of the one kinks that maybe limit the Polynesian. And you can I'll be honest with you, you can, if you're a DVC member, you can usually find openings at the Polynesian.
Yeah.
And there's only one reason for that, and that's because there's only two types of rooms. It's either those super duper high point Bora Bora bungalows. We're talking.
I don't think most people stay in those bungalows that are DVC members. That's a theory of mine. I think most people are coming in paying cash for those.
Right.
Because it takes so many points to stay there at night. It's like 300 points or something ridiculous.
It is. It isn't even more than that.
I'm sure there are some DVC members that do it, but I bet by far it's people that pay cash.
Yes.
To stay there, that have lots of money.
Oh, yeah. So we have this incredible, so there's like a weird, stark contrast. Whereas a lot of other DVC resorts offer a great deal of variety. Mm-hmm. At Polynesian, you're only getting those Bora Bora bungalows, which I don't know anyone that's a DVC member that's stayed there. I don't think anybody's even stayed there in any DVC group that you're on at Facebook, have they? Maybe one or two people.
I think, Pete from the Diz has probably stayed there.
Done there once.
For, whatever.
Yeah.
But
just to do it.
I haven't seen anyone talk about staying there.
Right. So Disney built two more longhouses, but the only caveat is that these longhouses are deluxe studios only.
Right.
Okay. So you aren't getting any one-bedroom villas. You aren't getting any two-bedroom villas. So that's something interesting. So, that's the only weird thing. You're only getting... So they built Moorea, and I think Pago Pago was the other one. And it's a little bit further back, but you're actually really, really close to the Transportation and Ticket Center.
Which is nice.
Which is actually really sweet. You could just walk right over the Transportation and Ticket Center. There's a walkway they actually built there to get right to Epcot, or Magic Kingdom if you want. I mean, you could just walk into the Great Ceremonial Longhouse too, which is more iconic and fun to do that. But so the deluxe studios, though, so that's really where you're limited. The other places you're given all these different options and point values and point tiers. Because you could get a 2-bedroom, a 3-bedroom, a 1-bedroom. You can't really do that at Polynesian.
And for reference, I think the bungalows sleep the same amount as a 3-bedroom, but they're significantly more points, obviously, because they're out on the water and that type of thing. So yes, you're limited. But the good side of that, like you were just saying, is that there's more availability for studios. Yeah. Which is really nice, because most of the time, if you're familiar with DVC, I won't go too into it, is that you can book your home resort 11 months out, and then you can book any other resort 7 months out. And studios are always the first to go. Yeah. And they're also the least amount of points. Most people want studios. So what's nice about the Poly is that 7 months out, now I'm not saying 2 months out most of the time. 7 months out, you can usually get a studio at the Poly. There are some resorts like Beach Club and other ones where it's almost impossible to get a studio at 7 months out. So that's really nice, because Grand Floridian's another example of that. You cannot get a studio 7 months out. Right. Pretty much you can't. Right. And the Poly's right on the monorail. It's one of the top resorts. So that's, to me, that's also a perk that it's sort of set up like that. Oh yeah. In a way.
I actually, yes, that's a really good point. I didn't even think about. Yeah, it is actually kind of nice, because you could always stay there, really, if you really want to.
Yeah, there's pros and cons.
The point values are a little higher for studios. Yeah. But I will tell you that the deluxe studio is gorgeous.
You know what, though? It's pretty much... Grand Floridian studios are more. And most of the Bay Lake studios are more. There's 3 different views at Bay Lake. And the standard views are almost, which are the least amount of points, are almost never available 7 months out. So a lot of times the Polynesian might be the least out of the 3. Right. In terms of points for studios. So that's true. But it's definitely going to be more than staying at Animal Kingdom studio.
So the cool thing about Polynesian is that you get 2 full showers. Okay. Yes. You get that cool overhead shower.
Yeah, the bathrooms are really cool.
The bathrooms are great. You have lots of space in the deluxe studio.
And it's like
it's a
that
big
lava rock, like stone. I mean, it's
lava
cool.
rock bathrooms, lava like the lava rock like stone, and then some cool like blue turquoise.
Yeah, I mean,
tile in the shower.
It's neat. They have 2 bathrooms. Yeah, one has like a shower and the toilet, and then the other one has that other cool
with
shower,
a bath.
Which is nice. Yeah, with a bath.
And the other one is just a shower.
It's nice to have that because you know, even with just 3 of us, it's nice to have, you know, an extra spot where, you know, someone can be taking a shower, someone else can be getting ready in a mirror that's not all steamed up, and you know, whatever. It's nice that they have that. So
yeah, and for us, we're just, you know, we're a small family of 3. You know, staying in a studio is all really we need if it's just going to be us. So it's nice to know that we could get a studio at Poly if we, you know, if we want to. So you have a nice big room, and then it has a pull-out bed, like from a couch, but then it also has a pull-out underneath the TV.
Yeah, it's like a little Murphy bed, kind of. Like
with a
sideways.
Right, with a cute, like, Lilo and Stitch, like, sleeping in a hammock.
Which is nice, so it actually sleeps 5. Not all studios do, but the Poly does,
Yeah, and it has a cute little Lilo and Stitch painting with the Lilo and Stitch, like, sleeping, you know, cuddled up together, you know, at a beach, you know, in Hawaii at night. So it's really a pleasant, you know, decor inside your room. Also, the balconies are big. There's a partition that kind of, you know, that does block the other people, so it's not like you have to, you know, look at, you know, the other people if you don't want to. So it's a very pleasant place to stay. And like Ash said, when you're at the Polynesian, you have access to some of the best restaurants on property. And you just have access to just, and I know I've said it a million times, but it's just the vibe. The vibe you get from being at the Polynesian. It's just a happy, chill place.
To me, it's the best of both worlds. It's chill, it's relaxing, it's just, you know, those chill vibes I talk about. Yet, you're right on
there.
top of the Magic Kingdom.
Yes.
Basically, you can see it from the resort. So, it's my favorite.
Yes. It is a fantastic, fantastic resort. So it's something to, if you're a DVC member and you're like, yeah, there's only studios there, blah, 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 you don't want to stay there, whatever. I think it's worth it. Give it a shot. It really.
And you know what? We stayed there with your parents a while back, and we were able to get adjoining rooms. It's not a guarantee, but you can always try and request it, and that way we kind of had those doors open between the rooms.
Right.
And that was nice. I mean, we didn't have the full kitchen, but a lot of people don't use it.
Right.
Anyway, so that's always a possibility if you're traveling with other people to try and get the rooms next to each other or something.
And a pro tip, if you're staying at Moorea and you need to get to Captain Cook's or you need to get to Great Ceremonial Longhouse, there are like paths you can take. There's different ways to get there. You could take the path along the beach and just go all the way along the beach by the Bora Bora bungalows and you know, all the. You can do that. Mm-hmm. Okay, but there's also shortcuts. You could go through Pago Pago's building and then go through the quiet pool.
Right.
And then you're right there.
Right there, yeah.
So, like, there's some weird little, like, pathways because it is so beautiful. It's supposed to be tropical getaway paradise. And it is. And the one amazing thing, too, about the Polynesian are the grounds are so lush and so well maintained.
Yep.
And just so, like, you know, even the pathways are really, everything is just really perfect.
Now, tell me how you feel about this. I feel like even being in Moorea, which is the furthest, right?
Yeah.
It's the furthest way. It's not as spread out as other resorts. Like I feel like when you walk from that point to get back to like the regular, like the main area of the resort, it's really not that far.
No.
Other resorts, I feel like Grand Floridian one time, I felt like we were walking really far.
To get to the Grand Floridian villas are set very far from the Grand Floridian Cafe and you know the whole area.
Yeah. So I feel like for the Poly,
in the
even being
beverage
at
station,
the furthest part away, you're really not that far.
No.
Yeah.
No. So yeah, it's definitely more. It's a shorter distance, to everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful. The torches they have lit at night. I mean, it's just a great spot.
It's great.
Yeah. So, like I said, though, weird caveat is you're really only getting deluxe studios, and that's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
So, now there are a lot of them. There's 3 floors of them, but it is limited in that way.
Right.
But the studios themselves are very big, and you get those 2 bathrooms, you get a lot of storage space. You have a little kitchenette with, microwave, a fridge, and coffee maker, and so, it's definitely worth it, I think. So I'm sure we will be back there. And then, but I mean, the weird thing about DVC, you guys, is that there's so much variety. Like,
oh yeah,
you really almost, to get the most of your membership, you sort of think to yourself, like, I could have a different experience every time I go. Like
if you want to.
If you want. Some people don't. Some people are like, no, this is where I want to stay.
So we know people that stay at stay at their home resort every single time. They love it.
Or stay in the same area.
Yeah.
Resort, of resorts, and they just stay there.
Yeah.
So you're right. Like, in regards to like getting distance wise, Polynesian is definitely shorter distance from Grand Floridian, but obviously much shorter between other bigger moderate resorts. Coronado is huge.
Right.
Caribbean, huge.
And I would, even though it's not a moderate, Saratoga is in the huge category where you're walking 8 million miles.
Port Orleans, Riverside. Huge.
Yeah.
So, the walking is not as bad at the Polynesian. Plus, you're walking in paradise, and
you really don't mind.
I don't mind when I have to get up and go get some stuff, and I just love walking. I love it. All right. So that was we stayed at Polynesian. Then we came back a couple years later. Well, we stayed, but then we did another Bay Lake.
Right, we did a Bay Lake after that.
We did a Bay Lake stay after that, but then after that, we went to the Boardwalk. And we stayed with your parents, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Boardwalk was originally built with DVC in mind.
Yes.
So
was it like the second or third?
Yeah, I think it was the
second.
Because it was
Old Key West, and then
I think it's the second.
Was the Boardwalk. Yeah,
I think it is the second one. So you walk into the lobby of the Boardwalk. Well, first off, it's all like Atlantic seacoast. Boardwalk. Like that's the theme. So like kind of turn of the century Atlantic seacoast. Boardwalks. It's beautiful. It's really nice there. And you walk in the lobby, and the lobby has like a big like carousel, like a sort of like a chandelier with horses on it, and like a carousel. It's very, very pretty. And so the Boardwalk is split. Okay, and this is where DVC comes into play. So if you are to walk into the lobby and you take a left, okay, you keep going left past the check-in desks and the concierge desk, and you'll go into the DVC side of the Boardwalk. If you go to the lobby and you take a right, you're going to the inn side of the Boardwalk. So there is a inside, which is just like hotel rooms, regular rooms.
Right.
Okay, for whoever wants to stay there. And then you've got the DVC side, which has a built out, 3-bedroom villas, 2-bedroom villas, 1-bedrooms, and obviously studios. So you have a complete, whole section dedicated just to DVC, and then a section dedicated to people just wanting to stay there. And you have access to this great resort area that's the Boardwalk. I mean, so when we're talking the Boardwalk, we're talking about multiple restaurants. We're talking about a dance hall. We're talking about a dueling piano bar. Margarita, Joe's Margaritas. I mean, there's lots of different things and activities and, kind of carnival games that you can play up on the boardwalk. So you have this whole built-out attraction area as well on the boardwalk. So, all right, Ash, what did you, think of we stayed in what, a one-bedroom?
Yes.
Okay, so what did you think of the boardwalk and then, of course, the one-bedroom villa at DVC?
I mean, the boardwalk in general is my second favorite resort. Polynesian is my first. But I love, just talking about outside of the room, I love the energy of the boardwalk. I love that you have, like all those things that JB mentioned out on the boardwalk. People are always out there walking around, and the kids out there, they have, movies at night, which a lot of resorts have it, but it's like the way the boardwalk is set up. It's like everything is around itself. It's like bustling with people.
Yeah.
And then you have, of course, Yacht and Beach Club across the way. So it's sort of like these three resorts kind of together. Plus you have walking access and boat access to both Epcot and Hollywood Studios, or no? Is there a boat that goes to both Epcot and Hollywood Studios?
You can walk to studios.
So that's really nice if you're Epcot or Hollywood Studios people, or even if you're not, but those are going to be involved in your stay. That is an amazing perk, being close to both of those parks. Plus, as I've talked about this, they have a really cool main pool, but if you're on the DVC side, they have a quiet pool that's right next to, I forget what those are called, like that little community center that they have is right next to the pool, where kids can go and have arts and crafts and sports stuff and video games. And so that's like a really neat setup that awesome. It's right there. So like if your kids are old enough, you could be in the pool and your kid could be inside, or if you have kids that are interested in different things, one wants to swim, wants to go do something else, it's kind of nice that that's right there. So that, and then the room for the boardwalk, I mean, to me, honestly, Polynesian wins if we're comparing. The rooms are much bigger, and even a studio feels bigger than the boardwalk rooms are nice. They're really nice, but to me, there's really nothing like super notable about them. I don't know if that's like weird to say, but
they're very nice. But you're right. There's nothing that there's nothing sticks out, right? Nothing like they're beautiful rooms.
They are really nice.
They're really well. They've just been revamped. Like,
and part of it was we were there with my parents, and we let them stay in the bedroom, and we kind of stayed on the Murphy bed and like a blow up mattress. So that's probably part of my feeling on it. The bedroom has this like huge, comfortable king size bed. So I think if we had experienced that more, maybe I would feel different. But we were kind of crammed in that center part, because the one thing about a lot of the resorts is that if you are using that area, that living area with the pull-out bed that's next to the kitchen, it pretty much takes up the whole room. So like if the bed is undone, you can't really like walk around it very much. And since we filled it up. It's different if like two adults are staying in the bedroom and kids are staying out there. But we had a lot of people in our room, like a lot of adults. So it was nice, but it was a little crammed when the bed was out. But, that's not like a ding against them. But, I mean, I like the rooms. I think they're really nice.
Yes. And you still, in the one bedrooms, you have like the jet tubs, those big jet tub, and you've got, shower built out. And I mean, it is a nice. It is a very nice.
It's a very
room.
nice resort. I really like the boardwalk. And then my two things that go against it are, one, the quick service is like on the boardwalk, and there's nowhere to sit inside.
No, it's very odd.
It's very tiny.
Yes.
So to me, compared to like Roaring Forks or Captain Cook's, it feels very crammed and like not inviting. I like that the other quick service places have. And I know they'll say like, oh, well, you can go sit out on the boardwalk, but there's like 2 tables out there with 2 chairs at each one. It'd be nice if there was a little bit bigger of a space. And I feel like their options they don't have as many options in there. It's like 1 turkey sandwich and then like 3 other things. Yeah. Whereas you can get, I don't know, that it just feels a little bit limiting in the quick service department to me.
No, it absolutely is. There's the Boardwalk Bakery is really it. Like that's really it.
And I don't remember what my second thing is, so I guess just one.
Right.
For now, and maybe I'll remember what the other thing was.
Yeah, I mean, it is, where you're sort of used to, like, Captain Cook's is a great quick service restaurant inside the Polynesian. Grand Floridian has great quick service. Wilderness Lodge arguably is the best with Roaring Forks, so, you've got great quick with lots of seating and an outdoor patio.
I mean, it's like this very narrow, thin like line that you walk down.
Right.
It's very
and the beverage station is in there too, so it's like really weird. It's very small. It's like they
I wish that part was a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I thoroughly enjoyed our stay at the Boardwalk. And if you're Epcot people, especially if you love to go into the World Showcase and eat at different restaurants and try different drinks and stuff like that, this is a great resort to stay at.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of people that own at the Boardwalk stay there all the time. I think that's very common. It's one of the resorts that's very difficult to book a studio at the 7-month window.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It is it's very popular. So a couple other things about the Boardwalk. The inside is closer to ESPN Zone or ESPN Club and Epcot, like the walkway to Epcot. The DVC side is closer to Hollywood Studios. You're still close to Epcot, on the DVC side, but you're a little bit further.
It does make a difference, though, because the resorts are always bigger than they seem. And so, like, you can get to the edge of the resort as you're walking back from a park and then still have to walk a lot further. And we had stayed there on the inside when we were engaged, right? Our first trip there. And I remember the walk to Hollywood Studios seemed longer.
Yeah.
And then this last time we stayed on the DVC side,
that
wasn't that bad.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
And it's because we were at the other end of the resort.
Yeah.
Whereas our walk into Epcot, I felt like by the point where we got to the bridge, we had already been walking for a while, you know, so, yeah.
And there are a few, there's other pool options at, there's the big main pool, which now has been rethemed from the Creepy Clown.
Right.
Like a carnival, boardwalk attraction type of roller coaster slide, which now has all the Mickey Mouse character designs from the latest Mickey Mouse cartoons, which I love. It's called the Keister Coaster now, apparently.
The other thing I wanted to mention is the Boardwalk has one of my favorite resort stores. I really like the store at the Boardwalk.
I'm not
exactly
it's
sure
big.
why.
It's big.
It's really big. And because it's on the Boardwalk, there's a lot of windows with natural light. I mean, it's one of the best
It's just a
resort
pleasant
stores.
shopping experience. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. It is. So I think we've talked before about all the different restaurants and everything on the Boardwalk. So I don't know if we need to go into that, but I know that there are many options available to you that are table service. Like Trattoria El Forno and Big River Grill and Flying Fish and ESPN Club and ESPN Club had this chicken sandwich with this fried chicken sandwich. Oh my gosh, whatever they did, what kind of fried it was. I just remember it being really good. I don't know what they did. It was probably just full of butter or something.
It was a really greasy meal we had, but it was amazing.
It was still, it tasted good. So, Boardwalk is also very versatile, and I think because it's an older resort, it's definitely more affordable points-wise. Like, it does not cost that much to stay there, if you can get in.
Yeah.
You're not going to be spending that many points.
Yes. You guys, I love the Boardwalk, and I think for me, it's the energy. And I know this is going to sound silly because I'm an introvert, but I lived on the north side for like a really short amount of time. And even though I'm not someone that likes to go out, even when I was younger, I didn't really like to do that all the time. I loved the energy of things happening around me. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there was a block party down the street or some sort of concert. Now that was obviously before I was married or had children, and probably would have been annoyed by the noise or something like that. But you know, if you're at your resort and you have like an early night that you come back from the parks, any other resort, mostly you'll go back to your room and it's kind of just you, unless you're by the pool or like the main area of the resort. The boardwalk feels like when you're walking back, it's just like a party on the boardwalk. Like everyone is out there. People are drinking margaritas. People are just out there just standing on the boardwalk, like looking across the way, you know, at the other resorts, just enjoying the view. And then they do that movie night for kids right on that like lawn area that's right off the boardwalk too. So it just feels like there's just people all around you. And there's the coolness, you know, it's kind of neat and magical to have, you know, all that happening right there. I like that.
It is, especially like with all the lights and everything. Also, you have to realize too, you're in a resort area. So really, you know, you look across Crescent Lake and you see the yacht and the beach club. Right. And you see the Swan and the Dolphin. And Epcot. Yes. So like you're in sort of like a you know, you feel, you know, like you're at a big resort, right? You feel like there's lots of different things, you know, that you could do. And one thing too about staying at the boardwalk is that you could go check out all those different places. You know, like it just like there's lots to do. You could kind of just have a boardwalk stay and just go into a different restaurant, the Swan's restaurant, the Dolphin's restaurants, the yacht club, the beach club. I mean, there's lots of different things.
Yeah, we did take like an afternoon or morning, I don't remember what it was.
You just walked around over there, and
we went into the different shops over at Yacht and Beach Club and stuff, and it was nice. I mean, we had a good time.
It was just a pleasant experience.
And I think for us, I mean, we love Epcot and Hollywood Studios. Hollywood Studios is arguably my second favorite currently. Really? I love it. Yeah. You know how that goes, though. Some people always have the same favorite. Some people go back and forth. Yeah. But we're notoriously Magic Kingdom people. So when we stay at the boardwalk, that's like the one missing thing. We usually like to end the trip at Magic Kingdom, and it's always nice when you have the convenience of the monorail or being very close to Magic Kingdom. I mean, these are, you know, not exactly like the worst problems to have by any means, but you can feel like the Epcot, like Yacht Club, Beach Club, Boardwalk energy. Like it's just a totally different energy being in that part of Disney property than being over at Magic Kingdom. It
is. So, you know, so really you get varied experiences. I mean, every time you go to a different DVC resort or just Disney resort, Polynesian is just such a different feel than the boardwalk. Like it's so different. Oh yeah, totally. It's just so really you just have to kind of think to yourself, what do you want to do? You know, what do you want to see? Where do you want to be closer to? You know, with Ratatouille opening, I'm sure Boardwalk is totally booked. Like, I'm sure just because Ratatouille's opening, people are going to be like, hey, let's just walk in International Gateway. And Ratatouille is literally right there.
Yeah. So, and you know what? I mean, it kind of makes sense. You think about, especially if you have kids or, I mean, even if you don't, your trips tend to change over time. Like, what you're more interested in doing. Like, there was a period of time where with Harrison, when he was younger, it was more about Magic Kingdom and maybe Epcot, but Magic Kingdom. I mean, now he loves Hollywood Studios. Or like maybe if it's a trip with just you and your spouse, you want to focus on World Showcase because you're all about the dining, or you want to go to Saratoga because you want to focus on Disney Springs. I mean, things shift, and that's the beauty of DVC is that it can shift with you.
It can. Yeah. It can. So, so ladies and gentlemen, please rate, review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Deezer, wherever you guys listen to the podcast, Stitcher. We would love to also hear from you guys.
Yeah, make sure you're following us on social media. Reach out, email us, message us, let us know what you'd like to have us talk about.
Yes. And we really appreciate you guys. Again, if you want to subscribe to the Bandcamp exclusives, it's Magic in the Midwest podcast.bandcamp.com. What else, Ashy?
I think that's it.
Right? And then, for a little $3 a month, you could do that. And then, trying to think of something else, anything else. No, next time we'll be probably talking more about Universal, of course. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, from the Midwest. See you later.